Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Book Geek, also known as Kiava, and this will be a check-in of a previous video that I did, 21 books to read in 2021, plus the top books I want to read in 2022. So I'm going to go through that list of books from 2021 that I said I was so excited to read. And by the way, those were books that I already owned, and see how many of those I actually managed to read. And then I am going to talk about some of the top books, the top 22 books that I want to read that I already own. Last year, I struggled with my reading, as I have been for the past couple years, it seems. But, you know, I've made some changes in my life recently, and I do have faith that 2022 will be a better reading year and just a better year overall for me in general. So I can tell you right now, most of the books that I wanted to get to in 2021, I did not manage to get to, but I still want to go through and talk about them because those books are still on the list to read for 2022. So with that being said, let's get started. The One by John Mars. So did I read The One by John Mars? No, I did not. It's still sitting on my TBR cart. I did not manage to get to this one, and it is still on the list for 2022. All these books that I didn't get to, they're just rolling over into the new year. They are top priority also. The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. Did I read The Stars and the Blackness Between Them? No, I did not. Did not read this one either. I was so excited to read this book because I just adore the cover. And it was a gift, which one of my upcoming videos will be reading books that people have gifted to me. So this one might get read this month. You never know. But that's one of the things that I do want to do, is read more of the books that people have gifted to me. I want to, you know, I don't want people's gifts to just be sitting on my shelves for years and years and years as if I don't appreciate them. I want to get to them in a timely fashion and read them. So the Stars and the Blackness Between Them, rolling over into 2022. Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Did I read Clap When You Land? No, I did not. Don't click off the video because I promise, I think I read a couple of these. But nope, rolling over into 2022. God, I got a lot of books to read this year. I need to get started. The book is Nemesis. So I did not get to Nemesis either. And it is titled Wool. This one really hurts because, Wool is a book that I have been dying to read for so long, and I didn't get to it. Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. Didn't get to Black Girl Unlimited. I'm telling you, I just hit some bouts of depression last year and just at one point completely stopped reading. The next book is Lizzie. I did not get to Lizzie. The next book on the list is Dreamfall. I did not get to Dreamfall. Clown in a Cornfield. Didn't get to it. Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen McManus. Didn't get to it. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Did not get to Children of Blood and Bone. A Step Into the Rain by J.V. Harvey. Did not get to it. Allegedly. So I did start Allegedly, but I didn't manage to finish it before the end of the year. So that one I will be rolling over into the new year. I might finish it January or February because I got a lot of books to read. A lot of books to read. The Road. So, yes, we got to one that I finally read. The Road. I've read this, loved it. It's one of my favorite books of 2021. I did it. I read something. The Road. Beautiful writing, okay? It is a post-apocalyptic novel. I don't know if this author, I don't know what other work this author has, but I need to find out, because if they've written anything else, I want to read it. It was so heartfelt. I'm still thinking about this book today. That's how great it was. I mean, this is not a review or a wrap up, so I'm not going to be going into details. But this book touched me in such a way. I know I'm never going to forget this book, The Revenant. So I did not get to The Revenant. It's still sitting on my TBR cart. That book is
Scythe.
Because I can never pronounce it right. It's
Scythe.
So, Scythe. Yes! Ding, 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 ding! I did read this. Another favorite of the year. I need to read more of my books, because apparently I got good taste in books, because the ones that I did read that I were excited for, I absolutely loved them. This book pissed me off and made me sad. All the emotions. I loved it. Oh my God. I can't wait to read the sequel in 2022. This whole system, and I just, I don't even know. I loved it. 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 I don't know what else I can say about it. Scythe, 5 stars. Read this. Read this. I wasn't prepared to talk about a review, so I don't have my thoughts, together. But yeah, I read this one that I was excited to read in 2021 and loved it. 5 stars. Another favorite. I Am Behind You. So I did not get to I Am Behind You, which is a shame, because this is the author of Let the Right One In, and that is one of my all-time favorite horror books ever. So I really need to get with some more of his work. I need to read more of his work. I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. So I did not get to I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. Now, ultimately, the goal is not exactly to read all 21 books, but to dwindle down the list a little bit, to help me get through a lot of the books that I own. At least half of these books I wanted to read, and I didn't even do half of that. So in the new year, these are top priorities, and then I have a new list of books that I also want to read that I already want to own, which I'm going to show you right after. But the goal is to get through at least half of those. Is it devolution or de-evolution? So no, didn't get to this one either. Black Flamingo. Did not manage to get to the Black Flamingo. It's Mexican Gothic. And did not get to Mexican Gothic. Well, at least now you know a lot of the books that I might get to in 2022. You see some of my to-be-read books here. All right, now top books that I want to read for 2022 that I already own. These are in no particular order. First up is Pet. So the children of Lucille have been taught that there are no more monsters. But Jam is going to come face to face with a monster, Pet. Pet has come to hunt a monster. But how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? I've heard great things about this story and just can't wait to get to it. It's a small little book, so I'm pretty sure I can whip right through this. The next book is My Soul to Keep. Jessica is an African-American journalist. She is chasing a big story. DeWitt is an immortal whose ancient thirst for wisdom leads him to break the first commandment of his kind, not to fall in love. Together, they are about to pay the ultimate price for their ambition and their desire. And I believe this is a horror story. The next book is An Unkindness of Ghosts. This book is going to sort of mirror antebellum South and how Black people were treated, except in space. The ship's leaders have imposed harsh moral restrictions and deep indignities on dark-skinned sharecroppers like Aster. Aster learns there may be a way to improve her lot if she's willing to sow the seeds of civil war. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this sort of story plays out in space. All right, the next one, A People's History of the Vampire Uprising. And I just absolutely love this cover. Oh my God. So this is an fictional oral history. In this ambitious and wildly original debut, part social political satire, part international mystery, a new virus turns people into something a bit more than human, upending society as we know it. So it's all going to begin with the death of a woman, and the person, the investigator, the CDC investigator, called in to consult with the local police, it just can't believe the condition in which this body is in. It's an impossibility that threatens her understanding of medicine altogether. And I like mockumentary or fake fictional oral histories, kind of like World War Z. That was sort of like written in a documentary type of style with interviews and whatnot, but it was fictional and it was brilliant. I loved it. So I can't wait to see how how the author creates this story with vampires. The next one is War Girls. The year is 2172, and climate change and nuclear disasters have rendered much of Earth unlivable. And so we have war-torn parts of the world and whatnot, and, you know, people uprising and fighting for change. We have these two sisters. Their lives have been marked by violence and political unrest. Still, they dream of peace, of hope, of a future together, and they're willing to fight to get the future that they want. So, I mean, I just think that this is going to have some badass female fighters in it, and I am here for the girl power. Yes, 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 yes. Next up is The Mothers by Brent Bennett. So, this is a contemporary drama-filled story. It begins with a secret. So, we have Nadia, Luke, and Aubrey, who have some secrets. And even as adults, they are still, you know, sort of dealing with these secrets and these choices that they made when they were younger. And so this book is going to beg the question, what if they had chosen differently? This next one is wildly popular. It has been on a lot of people's favorites of the year, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers. This is, I think this is a middle grade book. I'm not sure. It could be middle grade or young adult, but people love this book. People are going wild for this. The cover is beautiful, by the way. My God. And I have to, you know, I got to see what all the hype is about, of course. Amari's brother is missing. She's never given up the idea that he is still out there alive somewhere. She finds a ticking briefcase in his closet containing a nomination for a summer tryout at the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. So she's heading here because she believes that this place may hold some answers about her brother. She must compete for a spot against kids who've known magic their whole lives. And the whole time she's being scrutinized, her own sort of supernaturally enhanced talent has been deemed illegal, but she's determined to stick it out past these tryouts because she is determined to find out what has happened to her brother. And I don't know, it just sounds magical. Okay, the next book is The Forest of Hands and Teeth. This is a horror book. I believe this is about zombies. All right, another popular one, The Shining by Stephen King. I really want to get to this because I have Dr. Sleep, which is the sequel, and I absolutely loved Dr. Sleep, the movie. So I want to read The Shining so I can hurry up and get to the Dr. Sleep book, you know, so I can compare it to the movies that I've seen and loved. All right, next we have The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. I actually read this book years ago when I was a teenager, and I want to read it again. I remember loving this book. I don't remember if I ever finished it when I was young, and I would just like to read it as an adult. And of course, this book is going to deal with heavy topics about race and standards of beauty. Piccola Breedlove, which, you know, I just find that amazing. My grandmother's name was Piccolia, very close to this person's name in the book. But she's a black girl. She prays every day for beauty. She doesn't think that Her dark skin is beautiful. Her curly ear or brown eyes is beautiful. She yearns for blonde hair and blue eyes so that she can fit in. This book would be so great for book clubs. Okay. The things that you can talk about and bring up that this book deals with would just be amazing to hear those conversations. Okay, the next book is Night Film. I don't exactly know what this book is about. It says here that it is a literary thriller. It's supposed to be suspenseful, breathtaking. It's written as if it's a nonfiction. I don't know if these articles and photos are actual real life events and stories. It's written in like a mixed media type of format. You have like newspaper articles and emails. I'm very interested to find out exactly what this book is about, which is why I put it on this list. The next one is a book that I just recently purchased, which you would have saw in my Christmas book haul, and that is Parasite. This book is a sci-fi horror. It does remind me of The Thing, which a friend of mine's actually pointed out, and I was thinking that as I was reading the synopsis, because this parasitic creature, alien, whatever it is, wears its victim's skin and it adapts their personality, so it becomes them. And I guess it can be anybody, because that's like the perfect disguise. So it sounds fucking horrifying, and I do want to read more sci-fi horror, more sci-fi books, more fantasy books in 2022. So this will be, you know, a great start for me. I love sci-fi. I love horror. Let's put the two together and let's see what this masterpiece is. The next one is also a book that I hauled in my Christmas book haul video, and that is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. This is another horror book. I love horror. One of my goals, which you will see in my goal video, is to read more horror. That was a goal of mine last year. I did not manage to read much horror last year. So I am really striving to reach that goal this year. And one way that I'm going to try to accomplish my goals is to write them down in a place where I'm going to see them every day. I'll talk about that more in my goal video. But anyway, this man supposedly is the last survivor, the last man alive. But he's not truly alone, because there are nocturnal, bloodthirsty creatures lurking in the shadows, waiting and watching. So the next book is RAZORBLADE Tears. I will be reading this one in the month of January. I'm starting off the year strong with this baby here. This is a revenge-driven story. In this book, two gay men who were also in a relationship with one another, one black, one white, were murdered. And now their fathers are going to get together and go out and investigate to try and find out who's responsible for their son's murder. And it's supposed to be some deeper concepts explored, such as race and whatnot. And I just cannot wait to read this book. I've heard nothing but great things about it. I'm very excited for this one. The next book is another sort of revenge story, and that is The Revenant. I absolutely love the movie. And in this book, a man is mauled by a bear and then left for dead by two other men. Hatred feud and vengeance feud somehow decides he has enough strength after being almost killed by a bear to go after these two men that left him for dead. I can't wait to read this. Oh my God. Whew, I love revenge stories, y'all. I just... Vengeance shall be mine. Yes. The next one is Imaginary Friend. Now, when I bought this book, I did not know that it was this big. Okay. This is a dictionary. Over 600 pages. But in this book, there is a little boy, Christopher. He's 7 years old. He's the new kid in town. And he has an imaginary friend. A voice in his head that only he can hear. And this voice gives him a mission. Build a treehouse in the woods by Christmas, or his mother and everyone in the town will never be the same again. What the hell is that about? The next one is by an author that I've grown to love, and that is Survivor Song by Paul Tremblay. This is a horror book about a rabies-like virus that takes over a town. So the next one is Black Sun. This cover is just to die for, I swear. You know, I've read this synopsis so many times and I still don't know exactly what this book is about, but it had a lot of high reviews and it is an epic fantasy and I want to read more fantasy. So that's why this one is, you know, a top book for 2022. The next one is a sci-fi fantasy, and that one is The Space Between Worlds. So apparently in this world, God, I hate describing this plot because it's so intricate. Multiverse travel is possible. This character, Kara, she has many different selves, versions of her, but they seem to be very good at dying. One of her 8 remaining doppelgangers dies under mysterious circumstances, and this is going to plunge her into a new world with an old secret. So that sounds interesting, okay? I always say this to myself because sometimes I just have the worst luck, it seems, in life. I've been one of those people that's been unlucky in life, but, you know, could always be worse. So, but anyway, I've said this to myself before that I think there's another version of me out there living my best life. Because this one over here, not doing so hot. The next book is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I've never read the synopsis of this book. I bought this book because it's by Riley Sager. I read one Riley Sager book before and absolutely loved it. So I want to read anything that Riley Sager writes. And so I have other books by Riley Sager as well, but they aren't as high up on the list as Home Before Dark. Home Before Dark is higher up on the list because I've heard such great things about it. Now, I was thinking about doing a Riley Sager readathon sometime in the year. I might get to that, I might not, but whether I do or not, Home Before Dark has to be read this year. We're down to the last 2 books, one being The Last House on Needless Street. This is the story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. That's all I need to read. I stopped at revenge because, you know, like I told you, I like a good revenge story. And the last one is Dracula versus Hitler. It's a big baby. It's a big boy, okay? But I've talked about how I think this is such an interesting concept, Dracula versus Hitler. So it's gonna have some historical references because this is the beginning of World War II. They're fighting the Nazis, and Van Helsing is going to go retrieve Dracula to help fight against the Nazis. I just think that's so fucking dope. I think that needs to be like an anime or a TV show or a graphic novel, because I just, in animation form, I just think it would be so spectacular if the right artist got their hands on it. I can't wait to read this bad boy. Okay. As you can see, I have a lot of reading to do in 2022. I've already started reading some new books, and I'm reading some books from last year that I started but didn't finish that rolled into the new year. So you will see my January TBR coming up soon. I'm not going to be spinning my wheel. I might do that sometimes throughout the year, but for the month of January, I won't be spinning the wheel. I have some other things I'm going to be doing. But this is, you know, the 22 books that are at the top that I'm so excited to read. I have big plans for the new year. I'm going to be a busy woman, but I have to get through these books. I have so many unread books. So anyways, let me know if you read any of these. If you liked them, hated them, don't give me plot details. Please don't spoil any of the books for me. Which ones do you think I should prioritize? Let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you know when I post a video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.